सनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं तं सचानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्याम्। Like the computer has hardware and software, everything in this world has something primary, something secondary. We also have the hardware, the body, and the software, the mind intellect, and the power, the self. Whatever you tap, whatever you invoke in this assemblage of yours, you will exactly get that quality. If you are aligning yourself with the body is perishable, mind is ever in agitation, intellect moves from confusion to clarity, etc., etc., etc. All are finite. But if you align yourself with the spirit behind them, you shall experience its nature, infinite, eternal, blissful consciousness. There are different types of people in the world. People who are totally involved in material pursuits, people who are completely established in spiritual awareness. There are people who are not able to find complete achievement in material life or spiritual life. It is these people that mostly are tossed by agitations because they have neither the comfort of material life nor the security of the spiritual life. And all these are, even the very all topics that we are speaking belong to the mind. It is the mind that even tells you this is spiritual, that is material. This is finite, that is infinite. And when one is under the spell of the mind, he gets confused, he becomes despondent, he is shattered by different emotions. This happens to all, but very few people convert this situation into a blessing. Very few people convert this situation of confusion, despondency into a blessing because they seek a remedy. And when they seek a remedy, they get it through a guru. So, Arjuna was one such. He was at the outset, by habitual identification with the apparent world of names and forms, got lost in emotions that this war is going to cause death of all the near and dear ones. It is true and it happened too. But Sri Krishna says that's not as you are seeing is real. It has another dimension, number one. Number two, these experiences of birth, death, sorrow, joy, all of them have to be understood in the light of spiritual knowledge. When we understand a situation, we have to assess it from physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual dimensions. So Krishna lifts this despondent Arjuna through his wisdom, and the same Arjuna becomes victorious, Vijaya. So now where we are is the transition happening in Arjuna. That's the difference between an ordinary man and a spiritual seeker. For everybody, this happens. But an ordinary man gets drowned in that. A spiritual man seeks a solution, finds a guru, and gets liberated from all confusions. Firstly, this I have been insisting on this type of usage of the words for liberation. You have to understand. Liberation is not a post-mortem state, something that happens after death. The bondage is because of the mind. To liberate yourself from your confusions, from your attachments, from the mind is called liberation. This you have to do. Bhagavan cannot do. Because it is you that have bound yourself from these confusions. You have to come out of it. He cannot help you. He cannot help you. So, Arjuna was telling Sri Krishna, by killing these people, we will only incur sin. See the dichotomy of the personality. Nihatya Dattarashtra Nahkah Pritisya Janardana Papamevasrayed Asman Hatva Etan Atatayinah. Atatayi is one who has done even one of these sins, that is, burning somebody's house, poisoning somebody, and try to disturb the modesty of a woman and take away somebody's property. All these are about 6 of them listed. You will see in Gurudev's commentary. Each one of them is a Atatai who does it. According to Dharma Shastra, if you see an Atatai, You should not wait to consult even the officials, the people in power. You have to kill them on the spot like you kill a scorpion or a snake because they are dangerous. So Arjuna uses the word Atatai for Kauravas. Kauravas have done all the six. Even if you have done one, you should kill. They have done all the six. And still Arjuna hesitates to kill them. He uses the word Atatai, but but hesitates to kill them because of his attachment. The world of matter, the world of names and forms. Please, this one sentence clearly understand. The world of matter, the world of names and forms has no power to give you sorrow. It is our attachment that gives you sorrow. The world of names and forms, the world has no power to give you sorrow. It is your attachment that gives sorrow. What is attachment? Firstly, to see yourself as the body, I, then one certain thing I want, and to be dependent on that. All this is called attachment. I plus I want plus dependency on that is called attachment. It is this expectation of security and happiness from something, somebody, some experience that gives you joy or sorrow, not by itself. It doesn't. The world doesn't have either joys or sorrows. You were transferring your own mind on the world of objects, beings, and experiences. Tasman arha vayam hantum dhattarashtraam swabandhavan swajanam hi kritam hatva sukina shyama madhava. Krishna, how are we going to be happy killing our own people? Yadyapyete na pashyanti lobopahata chetasah kulakshaya kritam dosham mitradrohe cha patakam kasam nagneyam asmavihi papa dasma nivartitum kulakshaya kritam dosham prapashyadhik janardana kulak. Even if these people, overpowered by greed, are not able to see the repercussions of this war, how we trying all the time to live the values of dharma, not see the after effects of this war, wherein Kulakshaya Kritam, the whole community will be wiped off, and all our friends will be eliminated. How do we not know? How are we trying to enter into this heinous crime? Kulakshaye pranashyanti kuladharma sanatanaha dharme naste kulam prasnam adharmo abhibhavatyata. When the families are destroyed, their values are lost, and when the values are lost, adharma takes its food, and when adharma takes its food, the women lose their dignity, and when the women lose their dignity, their morals, there will be confusions in the character of their offsprings because they have no particular value given to them. People start living only at the level of flesh without any values. Sankaro Narakaschaiva, such confusions in the basic character, in the basic strata of the society, shall only bring hell. Kulagnanam kulasyacha, of all the people responsible for this destruction. patanti pitaro keshaha lupta pindodika kriyaha. And pitaraha, our ancestors, they do not get their pinda for Shraddha because they all are lost and they have no values for these things and they don't get also their pinda and they suffer. Doshairete kulagnanam varnasankara karaihi uschadyanti jati dharmaha kuladharmasha shashvataha. Uchanna kuladharmanam manushyanam janardana narake aniyatam vaso bhavati iti anusushrama. Because of these various defects through the war and confusion of the castes, all the values will be lost permanently, and when they are lost permanently, people are assured of hell. And now he's congratulating himself. He's patting on his own back. Aho batamahat papam kartum vyavasita vayam yadrajya sukalobhena hantum swajana mahavi hantum swajana muddita. Oh gosh, what a sin we are about to commit. Thank God we woke up. Because of greed over the matter, power, property, we were about to do such a heinous crime. Thank God we woke up. And now he concludes, Yadi mam apratikaram ashastram shastrapanayah dhartarashtraha rane hantum tanme kshematarum. Instead of fighting this war and ourselves being responsible for the destruction of this entire clan, it's better we don't take weapons and unarmed people, if they kill, also that is better than our fighting them. Right? Devil quoting the scripture. Sanjaya Vacha. Sanjaya says, Eva Muktva Arjunaha Sankhye Rathopastam Upavishati Visrujya Sasharam Chapam Shoka Samvigna Manasaha. Thus saying, Arjuna got down from the chariot, collapsed, dropped the arrow and bow. That is the first chapter, Bhagavad Gita Su, Upanishadsu, Brahma Vidyayam. The whole thing is Brahma Vidya. Vidya is that which gives you security and comfort and power over anything is Vidya. And that which gives you absolute security, absolute joy is called Brahma Vidya. Brahma means biggest, glorious. So that's Brahma Vidya, spiritual knowledge, given in the form of dialogue, Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. All our scriptures are in the form of dialogues. The student is given total liberty to ask doubts. Arjuna Vishada Yogo, this chapter called the despondency of Arjuna Pradhamodhyaya. The despondency for an intelligent man becomes the first step to start inquiring and get liberated. Therefore, even despondency has a place in the spiritual ladder of evolution. The next chapter is called Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya is a system of philosophy in India. There are two Sankhyas. They have one thing in common. All of them believe in the 24 principles, 5 karmendriyas, 5 gnanendriyas, 5 pranas, and the 5 sense objects, and the antakarana, mano, buddhi, ahankara, chitta, totally 24. Both these schools believe in this 24, but the Sankhya that is propounded by Kapila in Bhagavata believes in God. The other Sankhya, which is enumerated in the 6 philosophies, do not believe in God other than a Purusha who is caught in matter, and there are many Purushas, as many as the individuals. Each Purusha is caught in his own matter and he gets liberated. This is the other Sankhya. Both of them, one thing common is the 24 principles. Both of them, another thing common is their logical expositions, the way in which they explain things. And therefore, Sankhya Yoga, Sankhya logical exposition, Sankhya is called logical because Sankhya is always logical. 1 plus 1, even if the finance minister wants, cannot change into 3. 1 plus 1 is always 2. American president or finance minister cannot make it 1 plus 1 is 3. So therefore, it's logical, Sankhya Yoga. It is the essence of the whole Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters. It is the essence of the entire thing. So a thorough study of second chapter can give you complete insight into the subtleties of Bhagavad Gita. We are going to do here only one we have done, 2 and 3. We are stopping with 3. That's why we took 12 classes. Maybe even 1 or 2 earlier we may stop. We do not know. But up to 3 only we are doing. That's enough for all to live. After that, they can enrich their knowledge through various means. I shall myself forward to you Gita 365, where Swamiji Gurudev has given his talks, which are in YouTube. These talks are given in Pennsylvania. And also for some people who are used to my way, I will also forward the YouTube, those 15 chapters. With that, you can probably see. Otherwise, we will see. Once you are progressed in this, we will establish a contact, we will see. Dvitiyodyayah Sankhya Sanjaya Vacha. Sanjaya starts narrating Tam Tataya Krupaya Visitam Asru Purna Akulekshanam Vishidantam Idam Vakya Uvacha Madhusudana. In all the Gita, Sri Vedavyasa uses the right adjective for a person at the right time. Here he said Krishna Madhusudana. Madhu is the Rakshasa, represents ego because Madhu is honey. Honey is the collective effort of all honeybees. Our ego is the collective effort of all our actions. So to destroy this ego is to invoke consciousness Krishna. So Krishna, the destroyer of Madhu, the Rakshasa, or the ego. That word is particularly used by Vedavyasa here to the despondent Arjuna, Vishidantam, who is overpowered by misery, pity, blurred with tears in his vision. Madhusudana starts talking. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Bhaga is sixfold wealth. Aishwarya, lordship, dharma, yashaha, name and fame, sriyaha, prosperity, jnanam, knowledge, vairagyam, detachment. These 6 together are called Bhaga. The one who has all the 6 is called a Bhagavan. All of us are all the time hunting after these six. And you want them really, you go where they are there. They are only in Bhagavad. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. First time Sri Vedavyasa uses only in Gita the term Bhagavan for Krishna. Up to then, he was said Vasudeva or Devaki Nandana, Krishna, these names. But Bhagavan was not used. Here, because he himself is tuned to his ultimate dimension, Yogeshwara Krishna, he is addressed as Bhagavan. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Kutaha tva kashmalam idam vishame samupasti. Anaryajustam asvargyam akirtikaram Arjuna. Klaibyam masmagamat partha na etat tvai upapadyati. Shudram hridaya daurbalyam tektva uttista parad. Bhagavan admonishes Arjuna. He even now doesn't talk the spiritual essence because Arjuna is so obsessed with his own confusions. He is not ready to listen. Unless a student is ready to listen, no point in talking. So Krishna doesn't start teaching him now. He will only start with the 11th verse. But he admonishes him. What does he say? How did the state of confusion, Kashmalam, confusion is called Kashmalam. You know, our Tamilians use it, Kashmalam. That is the same meaning. Right? Kutastva Kashmalamidam Vishame Samupastitam. You got this state when you cannot afford it. In a crisis, you are so confused. In a crisis, you should be clear and fight. Anarya Justam. This doesn't befit an Arya. Arya is not the political Arya Dravidian. Anybody respectable is called an Arya. From that only comes the word Ayya. Arya and Ayya are the same. Respectable. Anarya Justam, Ajustam, Asvargyam. This will deprive you of the higher states of consciousness like Swarga, etc. Akirtikaram Arjuna, and bring you in fame, ill fame. Klaibyam masmagamartha. Don't yield to impotency. Na etat tvayi upapadyate. This doesn't befit you. Shudram hridaya daurbalya. Your weakness of heart is contemptible. Tyaktva uttishta bharata. Having cast asunder this ignoble state, get up to fight. Get up. Bharata. Bha, knowledge. Rata, one who revels in knowledge, is called a Bharata. You are born into this great tradition of Bharata culture. You cannot afford to behave like this. Get up, he says. And here, Klaibyam, impotency. Because a man has the guts to face the situation. A woman has the endurance to bear the situation. You don't have both. You are neither having the guts to fight nor the capacity to endure. You have yielded yourself to misery and you have become so weak that you are collapsed. Arjuna still starts his blabbering, but suddenly realizes because he is blabbering so much, but Krishna is composed. So he knows there is something wrong with his arguments. And he has faith in Krishna. So he discovers that and willingly submits himself to be disciplined by a guru. That's called disciple. One who is willing to be disciplined, surrenders to Krishna. And when such a student is ready to listen through surrender, the teacher stops talking Vedanta. Till then, the teacher won't stop. So, this portion, the next 3-4 verse stanzas, are the transition between a despondent human being to be a spiritual student? How does one, from the state of despondency, becomes a seeker, spiritual seeker? These 3-4 stanzas show us that transition. Katham Bhishmavaham Sankhye Dronam cha Madhusudana Ishubhi Pratayosyami Pujartha Arisudana. Krishna, how can I retaliate? Forget my fighting or sending arrows to Bhishma. Even if he sends, how can I retaliate? He is honored by the entire world. To me, he is, great grandsire. I am his pet. He has taken me in his arms. He has fondled me. And that teacher, that lovable man, even if he sends arrows, how can I retaliate? That is because Arjuna is seeing things through his personal standpoint, not through a total cause. This is the difference in facing our life. Life becomes tragic when you see things from the standpoint of the ego. The same challenges becomes an opportunity when you see the challenge from the angle of totality, welfare of all. For the sake of the welfare of all, you should be able to sacrifice your own individual values. Because, as Gurudev says, renouncing the lower for the higher is called a sacrifice. Renouncing the higher for the lower is called a compromise. So one should be ready to leave his own preferences to the cause of the totality. Katham Bhishmavaham Sankhya Dronam cha, and Drona, our teacher, who taught me how to handle a bow and arrow, can I towards him send my arrow? Ishubihi Pratayosyami Pujarha, they deserve our puja, our prayers, our offerings, our salutations. Arisudana, O scorcher of fools. Again, here dichotomy. See, Arisudana, one who kills the enemies. Arjuna addresses Krishna as Arisudana. That means the right thing is to eliminate for a Kshatriya enemies. But he is addressing Krishna like that. He himself doesn't want to do. This is called dichotomy. Guru nahatva hi mahanubhava Sreyo bhuktum bhaksham apihaloki Hatvarta kamastu gurune heiva Bhunjiya bhogan rudirapalekha Nacha etad vidmaha katarat nagariyaha Yadva jayema yadiva dodhiye Yaneva hatva na jijivishanaha Te avastitaha pramukhe dhaptarasraha. Here, Arjuna says, instead of enjoying this kingdom, having killed these reverend people who has to be revered by us, these noble people, instead of enjoying that kingdom, better to go begging and live. Because whenever I enjoy that kingdom, I will only see that those objects of enjoyment soaked with their blood stain. So better to go for as begging. And now, first time he comes down from his arrogance of trying to even talk morals to Krishna. First time he tries to doubt his own understanding. And he says, Na echad vitmaha katarat no gariyo. I am not able to clearly decide what is right. Yadva jayama. Should we win or allow them to win? Yadva jayema yadiva no jayeyu. Yaneva hatva na jiji visama. Why? Having killed them, I won't like to live. Te avastitaha pramukhe datta. Such people are there in the lines of Kaurava army, Dhritarashtra's children. And the next sloka is the complete transition. Next sloka is the complete transition of a confounded, confused, despondent Arjuna as a spiritual student. Very important sloka. Karpanya doshopahatas svabhavaha pruchhami tvam dharma sammoda chetaha yachreyasya nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyaha te aham shadhi mam tvam prapannam. You have been teaching all along morals to me. No, why you ask me? Why should I tell you? No. I agree. I agree. I was confused. I was in dichotomy. But now I am surrendering to you. Prapannam. I am surrendering to you. Shishyaha. I am willing to be disciplined by you. That's called Shishya, disciple. I am willing to be disciplined by you, Teham. And therefore, Shadi, please teach me. I am overpowered by pity, misery, karpanya dosham. Karpanyam comes kripanatvam, miser. Karpanyam, miser, misery. How miserliness is misery? And Sanskrit also same. Kripanatvam is miserliness. Karpanyam is misery. How? Because you have all the joy, security in you, not tapping it, you are suffering like a man who has the means to buy his food and eat and doesn't buy the food and eat, drinks water, and temporarily his hunger is subsided by drinking water. He has the money, but he doesn't buy food. He is a miser. You have this spiritual center in you. You have this bliss in you. Instead of using it, you are trying to live at the level of the body, mind, intellect. Therefore, you are a miser. You are a miserable man. Karpanya dosho pahatasvabhavaha pruchhami tvam dharma sammoda cheta. Krishna, I am now baffled with two dharmas. One dharma, as a Kshatriya, I have to eliminate adharma. The other dharma, I should not kill elders, teachers, etc. So these two dharmas are in clash. Please, therefore, since I have to only choose one, you tell me what I should do. Yachreyaha sya nishchitam bruhi. You decide and tell, I am not able to decide. Shadimam tvam prapan. Sreyaha, what is ultimately good? All the time for us, there are two choices. The choice of the pleasant, the choice of the good. The pull of matter is the choice of the pleasant. High diabetes can't resist sweets. High diabetes can't resist sweets. Full of matter. No diabetes also, but self-discipline. No, I can't indulge like this. Unless there is an occasion where I am offered, I will not on my own go and indulge in tasty food or sweets. That's called Sreyas, full of spirit, full of matter. Full of matter is by the mind, full of spirit is by the intellect. Path of the pleasant, path of the good. path of the pleasant, the full of matter, full of mind, is called prayas. Path of the good, full of the intellect, full of spirit, is called Shreyas. These two paths are all the time before us to choose Shreyas or Prayas. Here, Krishna, I am confused. So you please decide and tell me what is Shreyas for me. Right? Sanjaya Vacha, the interlude by Sanjaya, trying to connect the background to the topic. Sanjaya says two श्लोकास् एवम् उक्त्वा ऋषिकेशं गुडाकेशः परन्तप न योत्स्य इति गोविन्दम् उक्त्वा तूष्णीं बभूव तमुवाचः ऋषिकेशः प्रहसन् इव भारत सेनयोः उभयोर्मध्ये विषीदन्तम् इदं वाक्यम् उवाच विषीदन्तम् इदं वचः एवम् उक्त्वा having said Rishikesham to Krishna, who has conquered his senses. Gudakeshaha, one who has conquered his sleep. Arjuna, how Arjuna has conquered? Because he has woken up now to the spiritual call. Therefore, he has conquered his sleep. He has woken up to the spiritual call. Gudakeshaha parantapa, scorcher of fools. Na yotsya govindam. Again, dichotomy. Parantapa, scorcher of foes, Arjuna addresses Krishna, but he is not wanting to do it. Na yotsya iti govindam, I am not going to fight. And he said that to Govinda, tu uktva tushni babuvaha, he became silent. And to him, tam uvacha Hrishikeshaha, Krishna, prahasanniva, as though smiling, senayor ubhayor madhye, vishidantam idam vakyam uvacha. Between the two armies, Krishna, as though smiling, says this. Arjuna sees billions of people are going to die in this war. In fact, that is true. Only 7 people survived. And he is collapsed. Krishna is smiling. How and why? When somebody in your house is wanting to leave to office and there is not enough time, he doesn't find the keys and he starts shouting at everybody, car keys, where are they? This house is like that. Nothing is kept in that place. Everybody throws them off. I have to go to office now. Keys are not there. What will I do? Important meeting. My job will go. Started shouting at everybody. Wife as though smiling, because she knows the solution. He is agitated. She knows the solution. Yes, just lift that paper. The keys are under that newspaper. Right? There were keys under that. He himself put the newspaper. And now he is shouting at everybody. So the wife, as though smiling, says, lift that paper. So Krishna knows there is a solution. Arjuna's problem is because of confusion, and hence, as though smiling, he starts his teaching. The real teaching of the Gita means Vedanta starts from this verse. Therefore, Sri Shankara starts his commentary from this verse. That means Vedavyasa is wrong. Unnecessary verses is given. No. Those verses, Shankara has given them as the introduction summary because most of them are names. He doesn't want to word by word translate. Names of warriors, names of conches, names of charioteers. He doesn't want to waste his time. So the essence of that he has given as the introduction. And from the 11th verse of this chapter, he starts teaching. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Ashochananvasocastvam Pragnavadancha Bhashase gatasu nagatasum cha na anushocanti panditaha. Arjuna, ashocyan anvachoch. You are grieving for things that should not be grieved for. Yet, pragnavadas, you speak high words of wisdom. Why? Gatasu nagatasu cha na anushocanti panditaha. Over life's lost or life being lost, wise people do not grieve. That means what? You are an unwise fellow. You are an idiot. It doesn't stop there. You are an idiot. But talking words of wisdom, pragnavadanscha bhashasi. You are weeping for things that should not be weep for, and yet talking words of wisdom. And also, anushochanti. He doesn't say you should not grieve. You should not be lost in grief. Even if you have all this spiritual knowledge, when some you read in the paper or a neighbor or friends, young son, a prime teenager dies, you will certainly be moved. You should be, otherwise you are not a human being. But should not be lost in that. Your wisdom should prevail you. These things are all programmed, planned, led by God. He knows what is good for all. He is the conductor. Let us not completely be lost in this grief. He recovers soon. And to be lost is called anu. Anu means continuously following. Anushocanti. Wise people do not continuously grieve for lives lost or lives are under the process of being losing. Why? Because Arjuna sees all as human personalities, bodies, and therefore he sees death. Krishna sees all of them as spiritual beings and therefore no death. So therefore, you, out of your ignorance, seeing things in a wrong way, you are grieving. Therefore, you are grieving things for which you should not be grieved for. When you think you are a body with a soul, you will enjoy the status of the body, death. When you feel you are the soul with a body, you will enjoy the immortality of the soul. With false knowledge, you are grieving. Right? As Swamiji says, nobody dies, no body lives. All the letters are same six. Same six letters. Nobody dies, no body lives. Right? Also, this is a Dharma Yuddha. You are a Kshatriya. Your duty is to fight injustice. And you are grieving now against it. So you are grieving for things that should not be grieved for. Also, you are thinking you are going to kill Bhishma and Drona. They also should have the same emotion. They are not feeling that they are going to kill you and lost in misery. Not because they are stone-hearted. They know the truth. This is a war, has to be fought between two values. People dying and living, it does not matter. Right has to be established. They know the dharma, Bhishma and Drona, and therefore they are not grieving like you. They don't seem to have reciprocal emotion. Right? So from various standpoints, if you analyze, the grief has no basis, and you are grieving for things that should not be grieved for. These few explanations were given from our Guru Parampara, but the book itself gives the logic. Because I told you this chapter is called Sankhya Yoga, Sankhya logic. So he doesn't expect us to give our interpretations. He himself gives the logic. He says, Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipaha na chaivana bhavishyamaha sarve vayamata param. Natu eva aham. I never have non-existence. Asam, to be. Nasam, not to be. Non-existence. Again in Tamil you say nasamapo, same thing. Right? You get lost. Right? Natvevaham jatunasam natvam naime janadipaha, nor do I have a state of non-existence, nor all these people here, nachaiva na bhavish, even in future, there will never be a time I won't exist, you won't exist, sarve vayamata param, and all these people, there will never be a time when we don't exist. When Krishna said, I don't exist, he would have said, you would have God. Nor you, maybe I'm your brother-in-law. Krishna says, all these people, there will never be a time when they don't exist. How do you say? Because any sentence, anything said, should satisfy three criteria. It should be a time-tested statement. It should be logical. It should be corroborated with the experience. We are seeing death every time. So what you are saying, Krishna, doesn't corroborate with experience because death is seen everywhere. So I can't accept your logic. For that, Krishna answers, Dehi nosmin yatha dehi, kaumaram yavvanam jara, tatha dehantara prapti, dhiraha tatranam. The so-called death, Arjuna, you are seeing and you are talking, is completely misguided. Just like in this body, you had different in this body, you have seen the various changes in the body. You have seen the childhood body, which is only probably 4 kg. Then as it grew, maybe 10 kg, 20 kg, like that, it went on. And you saw the youth body, then middle-aged body, then old-age body. And not only that, this is went on transforming, one body transforming. According to even modern science, every cell in the body in a few years is not there. So the cells that were there when you were born are nothing is there now. So the body is totally different. Yet you are the same and you remember all the changes. You experienced all the changes. They are your objects. Objects change. The subject doesn't change. And since you remember, you must have experienced. Your experiences, you only can remember. My experiences, I only can remember. Experiencer and the remember should be same. You remember your childhood, you remember your old age, you remember your youth. Therefore, you are the same. They are different. And according to the need of the person's growth, the body is changed. When he has sufficiently used this body, becomes old, now for his knowledge, for his experience, for his wisdom, he needs a fresh body. So he leaves this body and takes a new body. Therefore, the death that you are seeing is only taking a different body. The person doesn't die, and your grief has no validity. So Krishna says that. Then the next question comes. That may be true, but you cannot oversimplify that parting with near and dear ones has no sorrow. That is answered by Krishna in the next verse, very important verse. I shall take on Wednesday. Om Purnamadaha Purnamadam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Thank you all. Bye.